So Donald Trump lost the Nobel Peace Prize. He was really, really, really wanting to win it because Obama's got one and he doesn't. And he's getting absolutely trolled on social media. I want to go over the latest and let's just jump right in. So first, this is an Obama cartoon. It says, "Hey, Donnie, want to hear a joke?" That's from Obama. "Nobel Peace Prize." Trump then says, "I don't get it." And Obama, "That's right, B, you don't." So poor Trump is crying today. And even Bloomberg, the financial news, is trolling Trump. This is their story here. It says, Venezuela's opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 in a decision marked by an unprecedentedly aggressive campaign by Donald Trump and his administration to secure the award. So even Bloomberg's like, "You lost, Donald." This was Fox News. They were trying to cope today. They ran, "Nobel Peace Prize goes to Maria Corina Machado, despite calls for Trump to receive the award." And then the consolation prize, "Trump could still be eligible for next year's prize." And I'm sure they're going to be campaigning for Trump to get it. He's out to try to catch up to Obama. Trump loses Nobel Peace Prize. He shamelessly campaigned for. And then you have Eric Trump yesterday. He was like, "Hey, retweet if you think Donald Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize." This was New York Post, right-leaning. They were like, "Not noble enough." And while we're talking about Trump not winning the Nobel Peace Prize, this is a true story. Peter Thiel, who's like a big Republican donor, he's part founder of the Palantir thing, the one that's going to track everyone. He was warning of the Antichrist and the U.S. destruction. He gave like these series of private lectures for real. That's what we're talking about in the USA Today. You know it's bad when your biggest donor is talking about the Antichrist for reals. And this was MAGA Voice saying, "Raise your hand if you think President Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize." And this was a weird one. I'm like, what? Why would you tweet this picture? And this is like supportive of Trump. I don't know what that one's all about. If you guys understand this picture, let me know. I don't get that one. But there's a lot of things I don't get with the Trump and the MAGA. But this is who actually the winner is. Nobel Peace Prize 2025 to Maria Corina Machado. Let's listen to what the Nobel has to say.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 to Maria Corina Machado. She is receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela, and for her struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy.
So if you get a chance to watch the whole speech, it's about 15 minutes. I encourage you to do so. They actually talk quite a bit how the world is sort of going back, or you could say heading towards, however you want to say it, but going more towards a dictatorship kind of route and away from freedom. And it's important that we honor and sort of recognize people who are fighting for democracy. And a lot of what they were saying was essentially a pushback against Trump without mentioning Trump by name, but it was kind of obvious what was going on here. And, you know, this is at a time when Trump's like basically trying to, you know, put gold everywhere and get the Peace Prize, which is also gold. I mean, you ask Americans, what do they think? Do they think Trump should win? New poll, this was just a couple weeks ago, new poll shows 76% of Americans believe Trump does not deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. And the funny thing is, you probably wonder, like, how big is MAGA? Maybe 24%. Maybe this is a good representation of that. You also got this. This is from Protect Kamala Harris account. Say, "I like presidents who already have a Nobel Peace Prize." Listen to Trump talking about it before.
I don't know what they're going to do, really, but I know this, that nobody in history has solved 8 wars in a period of 9 months. And I've stopped 8 wars, so that's never happened before. But they'll have to do what they do. Whatever they do is fine. I know this. I didn't do it for that. I did it because I saved
8 wars. Like, what's this guy even talking about? And someone was even trolling him, saying he's going for the Nobel to the crier. You guys can see it there. "Nobody ended more wars than me." Haha, it's a joke. You also got this. Trump's getting pushed back. He wants to send troops to Oregon and into Illinois. At the moment, I think he's blocked in Oregon temporarily. The judge also made a temporary block on Illinois. So we'll keep track of these stories. And the craziest crap is, you know, a guy who really wants to win the Nobel Peace Prize. He has his defense secretary rename, or you could say nickname, however you want to call it, but basically change it to Department of War. Like, how is that anything to do with peace? And we're ongoing trying to start something with Venezuela. So it was actually and as the military is destroying boats in Venezuela. And I don't want to make any light of it. I just want to explain what's going on. So it's like really a pushback to, go with the opposition leader there. This is also from Fox News. Trump does not win Nobel Peace Prize despite high-profile nominations, historic deals. It's so funny. They're still pushing for that. And here's another one trolling Trump. Happy Friday to everyone except loser Donald Trump. No Peace Prize for you. Obama has a Nobel Peace Prize. Trump is the first president to ever receive a felony charge. So I guess we could give Trump the felony prize. Here's another one. Nobel Peace Prize awarded to Maria Corina Machado. Donald Trump right now. I want my Nobel, crying like a baby. That's Donald. And this is even in the anonymous account. They're saying the fact that Donald Trump very publicly wanted the Nobel Peace Prize and didn't get it is enough to make today a good day. So hopefully this makes your day. What else we got here? Anonymous also tweeted out a special Nobel Prize has been created for Donald Trump. Congratulations, you earned it. And it's the Nobel Piddle Prize, I guess. Him with Epstein. Katie Miller, because I want to give you different points of view. So that would be the wife of Stephen Miller. And yes, he's married. And I know people are always surprised with that. She says, President Obama was given a Nobel months into his presidency without ending any wars. President Trump has now ended 8 wars. That's according to them. And then the Gunther Eagleman account, which is one of like Elon Musk's right-wing accounts. This person was posting stupid stuff. He says, not surprised, Trump could cure cancer and they would still hate him. maybe. And then Katie Miller was tweeting out Trump's mugshot, which is some weird sense of pride for them. I don't get that, but that's MAGA. Listen to more from the Nobel.
U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and he'd like to have it. He even said that it would be an insult to the United States if he doesn't get it. What does as a chairman of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, think of this, and how has this campaign-like activity by the president and his supporters, domestically and internationally, affected the deliberations and the thinking in the committee?
In the long history of the Nobel Peace Prize, I think this committee have seen any type of campaign, media attention. We receive thousands and thousands of letters every year of people wanting to say what for them leads to peace. This committee sits in a room filled with the portraits of all laureates, and that room is filled with both courage and integrity. So we base only our decision on the work and the will of Alfred Nobel.
And when you said that, basing on courage and integrity, that would obviously not include Donald Trump. There's no way you can put him on the wall with the other people. Fox News, it's like to show you guys the stuff that they were saying before. Fox News was saying he deserves this. Dozens of angel parents and families, I guess, want Trump to win this thing. And there's Fox News over here also talking about it.
You had to get the application in and before January 31st. And that was only 11 days into President Trump's second term. So we didn't really know that he was about to. Yeah.
They could play technicalities. They gave it to Barack Obama for just getting elected president. There was no achievement there. Prime Minister Netanyahu has nominated him. My colleague Claudia Tenney has formally gone through the process to nominate President Trump. And so there's a formal nomination in. The bottom line is, what should the criteria be to earn it? Nobody's done more in decades to bring peace to the world than Donald Trump. Yeah. If they want to restore credibility to that prize, he really has earned it and he should get it.
I always watch crap just for a little bit of giggles. Fox News is way off base here. More than decades, Trump is just the most awesome person. And they're saying, but Netanyahu nominated Donald. He must be great. This is also going on. The Kremlin, that would be Putin, is like, yo, they would support Donald Trump getting the Nobel Peace Prize. So I guess when your friends are Netanyahu and Putin, there's that. And you also got this, which I mentioned before in the last video. This is actually going on. I guess we're sending troops to Israel. 200, I think they're supposed to be advisors or whatever. But I'll just say this, the Vietnam War started in this way. And my personal opinion is, obviously, Trump's not going to listen to me, but I would prefer if we didn't get involved with this stuff. Let them handle it. But you understand this. Trump really wants to build his hotels and golf courses, etc. And he's stated before that he wouldn't mind having boots on the ground to protect said interests. I always want to let you guys know, though, as we go through this stuff, you are not alone, okay? If you can see the crap that Trump pulls every day and you're just like, always like, what the heck? Why isn't anyone doing anything? Well, they are. People are pushing back. And I think, honestly, I just keep talking about midterms. Don't, expect it to be just stay vigilant, right? We'll talk about this, stay vigilant and hopeful, because I think what the Trump is trying to do is completely unsustainable. And essentially what he's trying to do, he's basically his administration, his team is a Titanic, and they're running to lifeboats, and essentially there's not going to be any more lifeboats left. I mean, it's a sinking ship over there, and it's obvious. Letitia James had some interesting words on resisting Trump. Have a listen to this.
I stand strongly behind my office's litigation against the Trump Organization. We conducted a 2-year investigation based on the facts and evidence, not politics. Judges have upheld the trial court's finding that Donald Trump, his company, and his 2 sons are liable for fraud. I'm a proud woman of faith, and I know that faith and fear cannot share the same space. And so today, I'm not fearful. I'm fearless. And as my faith teaches me, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. We will fight these baseless charges aggressively, and my office will continue to fiercely protect New Yorkers and their rights. And I will continue to do my job.
So as you know, lately Trump has been attacking her. He sent his DOJ against her, sent some charges, and it's good to see this stuff. It's good to see that people are fighting back, right? She's not fearless. And I'll just tell you guys this. These are the kind of people that you want to build up America, unify the country, and support each other. And so, I get down just like anyone else does, but I also can be lifted just like anyone else. And for me, seeing Tisha James' response, feel a lot better. I'll just put it that way. And I feel a lot better every time that you guys hang out with us in the community. And sometimes we make jokes, sometimes we cry, sometimes we talk serious, sometimes we talk technical. But in all of these things, it's in service of helping out each other and building each other up. And I'll just tell you the truth about this stuff, guys. In the long run, right? Just think about it. This is just a small moment in time having to deal with the Trump crap. It's gonna be over. Don't worry. One way to put it is, Sunday's coming, right? I mean, there's always going to be another day, and essentially the countdown and Trump's days are numbered. So that's my thoughts on this stuff. I do appreciate your time, and I'll catch you on the next video.